term came tribe, but nowadays it is not using, but I have seen questions in 2001. Okay, that's why I am giving that information. So only one sentence it is. So one question came tribe. Now, what do you mean by tribe? So tribe is intermediate character or category. Tribe is intermediate category between subfamily and genus. It is intermediate category between subfamily and genus. Nowadays it is not using, but you have to know that tribe is what? It is intermediate category. And what do you mean by intermediate? So that is a subclass, superclass, subfamily, superfamily. So you can see that the prefix sub and super in any one category, it is denoting what? Intermediate category. Okay, so this is tribe. Okay, now next we have to come on that some rules are there, and that rules regarded by or depicted by ICBN. Okay, so what are the rules? First of all, we have to know what is ICBN. Yesterday we seen International Code of Botanical Nomenclature. So come on that. According to ICBN, International Code of Botanical Nomenclature. Okay, according to International Code of Botanical Nomenclature, some standard are fixed. Some standard are fixed and followed. What are those that we have to see? So first is every division. Okay, we are discussing about plants. So every division ends with phyta. Okay, so we have to see division. It is ends with phyta. Okay, every division ends with what? Phyta. If any class is there, so that class generally ends with phi C. So class ends with phi C. Okay, one is phi C, one is Opsida, and one is A. So phi C is there, Opsida is there, and A. Okay, so this is coming under class. Okay, if any order is there, one by one we will see. Any order is there, so that is ends with Alis. Okay, order ends with what? Alis. If family is there, okay, if family is there, so that is AC. Family, so ends with generally ends with what? AC. Okay, if tribe is there, that is now removed it is, so that is ends with AE. So we have to see that tribe ends with AE. Okay, that is tribes. If tribe is there, So these all are coming under where? This is for plants. If we are taking about animals, so in animals generally family ends with id, but many times they are changing, so no perfect rule is there. So family id ends with id. This is for animals. Okay, so this is ICBN, certain standard fixed, and it is what followed generally, in which case when nomenclature is being employed. Now come on, what obligate categories. So 7 obligate categories we will discuss here. Obligate categories, and we already know how much is that, 7 obligate categories. And what are those? First is we are taking about ascending order, species, then genus. Okay, you have to remember that, keep pot clean, otherwise family get sick. Okay, so species, genus, then it will come to family, then order. Okay, family, then order, then it will come to class, then phylum or division, and finally kingdom. This is the arrangement in ascending order. Previous one was what? Descending order. So it is ascending order of taxonomic category or lenient category. So this is what? Ascending order of taxonomic category or lenient category. So that is obligate categories that we have already known. 7 obligate categories are there. Now one by one we have to discuss. So come on that. First is species. Okay, so before entering into species is what? It is the key position of classification. What we can say? It is the key position of classification, which is lowest or basic taxonomic category. What we can say? It is a key position of classification, okay, which is lowest category of taxonomic hierarchy. It is what? Lowest category of taxonomic hierarchy. Okay, now if we want to define this, we all are having which belongs to what? Species. So we human beings are what? If we are seeing that scientific name, so it is Homo sapiens. Okay, Homo sapiens. Now here, which is the genus, which is the species? So a species, if you want to remember that one, okay, so what we have to see, that A to Z, if we are counting A to Z, so first is coming what? G, then it is coming what? S. Okay, so any name is there, just for example, Homo sapiens. So accordingly, what is that? A to Z, G is coming first, so G means G first, Homo is G is genus and sapiens is species. Okay, so that is coming second. So don't confuse that. G coming first, so Homo is genus, and S coming later in A to Z. So it is sapiens. Sapiens is what? Species. It is lowest category of taxonomic hierarchy. Okay. Now here definitions are there. So species is what? A species is a genetically distinct and reproductively isolated natural population. What we can say? A species is genetically, okay, genetically, you know, means sexual reproduction that is having involvement. Okay, so species is genetically distinct and reproductively isolated. Genetically distinct and reproductively isolated. Okay, and reproductively isolated natural population. This is the definition. And this definition you have to remember, that species is what? Species is genetically distinct and reproductively isolated natural population. Okay, now come on that some examples. For example, mango. So their scientific botanical name is Mangifera indica. Okay, Mangifera indica. If another example we are taking potato. So potato scientific name is botanical name is Solanum tuberosum. So potato. Solanum tuberosum. Okay. If we are taking another example, tulsi. So Ocimum sanctum. So come on that. Tulsi. Ocimum sanctum. Okay. Now, in this, if we are distinguishing species, so in case of mango, already I discussed here G and S. So S is species. So indica here is species. In potato, tuberosum is here species, and in tulsi, sanctum here is in species. So indica, tuberosum, and sanctum, these are what? Species. Okay, so these coming under where? Species. Now here some concepts are there related with species. So come on that concept. First is biological concept of species. That is more important. So come on that species concept. Concept of a species. Here, what is that? Biological concept of a species. This is important because many times I have seen questions regarding that. Now, this concept, biological concept of a species, given by scientist Ernst Mayr. What is that? This concept was given by Ernst Mayr. Okay, this concept was given by Ernst Mayr, and according to this, a species is what? A species is a fundamental unit of classification. So this shows species is fundamental unit of classification. Okay, so it is what? A species is fundamental unit of classification. And what it is saying, according to this concept, this biological concept, according to this concept, what it is telling, that a species can interbreed, okay, freely in nature. So what it is telling, a species can interbreed freely in nature. Okay, they are interbreeding freely in nature, and what they are doing, they produce fertile offspring and produce fertile offsprings. Okay, so they are doing what? They are producing fertile offsprings in the natural environment where they are living. So in their natural environment. Okay, in their natural environment. Okay, now this is based upon reproductive isolation. What is that? Reproductive isolation. So this is based on reproductive isolation, and this concept is known as biological concept of a species. Okay, so this is called biological concept of a species, and that is given by which scientist? Ernst Mayr. Okay, now this biological concept of a species having some exception. What are the exceptions? That is important for your exam. Biological concept of a species exception. Okay, so what is that exception? This exception you have to remember. Okay, now first exception is a sterile hybrid. What is that? Sterile hybrid. Sterile hybrid. If we are seeing under this sterile hybrid, so that example is, first example is mule. For example, mule. Now, this mule how developed? So it is male donkey and female horse. So male donkey crosses with female horse. Female horse known as mare, also known as mare. Okay, so this mule is there. Okay, next is hinny. Next is hinny. Hinny. Here just reverse. Here male horse, that is known as also stallion, into female crosses with female donkey. So these are what? a sterile hybrid. Okay. Next also are there if they are kept into cage. Okay, or captive condition. So that are showing what? Fertile hybrid. So come on that. Next is fertile hybrid, but it should be in captive condition. Captive means in cage. Okay, so this is fertile hybrid. Under fertile hybrid, one is a Tygone. For example, here Tygone, as a name suggests, Tygone means it is a crossing between tiger and lion. Okay, so male tiger and female lion. It is male tiger crosses with female lion, and this offspring having what? Fertile. Okay, so first fertile hybrid Tygone, another one is liger. But here conditions are there. It should be captive condition in the case. So next is liger. Okay. Now liger is what? Male lion and female tiger. Just reverse. Male lion crosses with female tiger. Okay. So these two are the exceptions of biological concept of species. Okay. Now, after this, next is coming, that is genus. Next is what? Genus. So come on that. One more concepts are there. Before that, you just know that who has given this one. So biological concept of species given by Ernst Mayr. Next is morphological, one line answer you have to remember that one. Morphological concept of species. Concept of species. Okay, so this morphological concept of species given by Carolus Linnaeus. It was given by Carolus Linnaeus. Okay, and it is telling what? Every species having the similar morphological characters. What it is telling? According to this concept, species having similar morphological characters. You have to remember only biological concept of species given by Ernst Mayr, morphological concept of a species given by Carolus Linnaeus. Okay. Next is a dynamic concept of species. Dynamic concept of a species. Dynamic concept of species. Now, this concept was given by Lamarck. So, it was given by Lamarck. Okay, and this concept shows that a species is mutable. Okay, mutable and dynamic in nature. So, what is that? According to this concept, species is dynamic and mutable in nature, means ever changing and helps in evolution. Okay, so that you have to remember only who has given this one. So dynamic concept of a species given by Lamarck, morphological concept of a species given by Carolus Linnaeus, biological concept of a species given by Ernst Mayr. Okay, now next taxonomic category after this genus, sorry, species is what? Genus. So come on that genus. So next category, taxonomic category is genus. Okay. Now, this genus concept was given by Brunfels. Who has given? Brunfels. So we have to read genus concept was given by Brunfels. Scientist name is Brunfels. Okay. And genus correlates with phylogeny, and we already known that the concept of phylogeny was given by who? Given that one? Haeckel, already discussed. So if you want, you can write here. And phylogeny concept was given by Haeckel. Okay, but this you have to remember that genus concept was given by who, which scientist? Brunfels. Okay, now we can say that it is the first higher category, then what? Then the level of species. So it is the first higher category, then the level of species. Okay, then the level of what? Species. Or we can say it is a group of species, okay, which are related and have less characters in common as compared to species. What we can say? It is a group of species. It is what? You have to see that it is a group of species, okay, which are related. It is a group of species which are related, and have, what is that? Less common character, okay, less common character as compared to species which have less common characters as compared to species. Okay, as compared to a species. So that is what? Genus. Okay. Now, if we are coming on that example, so come on that example. We already seen example potato. So what is that? Solanum tuberosum. Okay, Solanum tuberosum. Another example, brinjal, Solanum melongena. Brinjal, Solanum melongena. Okay. Now, if we are comparing these two are different species. What are the species here? One species is tuberosum and one species is their melongena. But they are having common genus, and that is Solanum. Okay, so that is having what? Solanum. If we are seeing same in another example, we are taking for example lion. Okay, for example lion. What is the scientific name of lion? That is Panthera leo. So come on, that is Panthera leo. Okay, if we are seeing leopard, if we are seeing what? Leopard. So leopard is what? Panthera pardus. So it is Panthera pardus. Okay. If we are seeing tiger, already know Panthera tigris. So tiger having Panthera tigris. Tiger ki what? Panthera tigris. If we are seeing jaguar, so it is Panthera onca. Panthera onca. Okay. Now here species are different. You can see that leo, pardus, tigris, onca. These all species are different, but all are having what? Common genus. That is Panthera here. Okay. So this is discussing about what? Genus. Okay. Now in a genus and species, there is no any fixed rule regarding with suffix and prefix. Okay, so there is no rule for suffix or prefix in genus and species. There is no rule regarding suffix or prefix in genus and species. Okay, no such rule regarding other, we will see that. Okay, now first what we seen is species, then what we seen genus, then we have to come on next higher category, that is family. So come on that family. Okay, now if we are seeing this family, so how we can define this is group of related genera. Very easy. Okay, it is what? Group of related genera that are more similar to each other, but less having other one higher. Okay, so what we can say, it is represented, as group of genera or genus. Genuses are there. So what we can say, it is represented as group of genera. Okay, that is having what? That are more similar to each other. That are more similar to each other. So what we can say, it is represented as group of related genera or genuses that are more similar to each other. Okay, with genera of other family. Okay, with genera of other family. Now already we know that It is having what? It is based on common ancestry. How this is recognized? So it is based on, we have to know that it is based on common ancestry. It is based on common ancestry. Okay, so it is based on what? Common ancestry. Okay, now if we are coming on an example, so we are taking that example, we already seen that. For example, solanum, we seen that. Then another one is a petunia. Okay, solanum is there, petunia is there. Then we know datura, atropa. So